Spoiler alert, it's Disney. We'll be okay. But when they
Ocean Drives films with Eclipse Dine-In Cinemas Bundoran. Now serving pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, and more to your seat. Find out more at Cinema.
Now, time to join our man at the movies, Collie McFadden, with the very latest from Eclipse Cinemas in Bundoran. We have a big one for you this week, folks. It's The Little Mermaid.
Yes, you know what? You're going to be saying this almost every week from now on. We are chock-a-block with big new movies, Jamie. I'm not sure we'll be able to keep on doing this on Zoom because the movies are so big. We mightn't even be able to talk about them because there's such huge bandwidth. But I think for lots of people, today is the biggest day. Look, Disney movies have always been hugely popular. And when Disney, they went through that phase in kind of the late 70s, early 80s, when I was a kid, of not really making classic cartoons. Robin Hood was probably the last one. And they stopped for a while. And then they came back with a vengeance with things like Beauty and the Beast, Mulan, and so on. But I think from that period, one of the all-time favorites was The Little Mermaid. And now that's got the big action remake with real people, real mermaids, and so on. But is it any good? But I've never seen an obvious joke and not gone for it. But is it any good? Well, why don't you have to listen to the clip first, and then we'll talk about The Little Mermaid.
Check the code, man! Over here!
You broke the rules. You went to the above world.
A man was drowning. I had to save him.
This obsession with humans has to stop.
I just want to know more about them. Ariel! Don't!
Poor child. I can help you. You can't live in that world unless you become a human yourself.
Is that even possible?
It's what I live for.
Oh, and that's the octopus. I tell you.
Yeah. That's
Ursula. Looks great.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this on the drive up here. So the caveat has to be said. For a lot of these, you go, why are they remaking these movies as live action? That weren't the cartoons great? We'll grant you that. And the other thing is, it'll never be the same as the cartoon I watched when I was 9 years old in the cinema. That is also true. But if you're like that, and I was like that before watching this movie, get over yourself is what I'm going to say. Because first of all, there's a whole generation of young kids. I was going to say young girls, but here's the thing. If this was Aladdin, we wouldn't say that's only for boys. There's loads to like for everyone here. There's generations of people. This is going to be the first one. Halle Bailey is going to be their Ariel, and she knocks it out of the park, Shamey. She is so good. I wasn't that familiar with her. I know I saw her in a movie called A Wrinkle in Time a few years ago, which was okay. It was interesting more than good. And I think she's kind of like a Nickelodeon and Disney TV star. But, the songs soar when she sings it, particularly, Part of Your World. And that's a movie or a song that so many people love. And they're going to be sitting there with their arms folded going, oh yeah, you're going to do this song, my favorite song when I was a kid. You're not going to impress me. Folks, she's going to impress you. She's just such a charming presence. And let's face it, The Little Mermaid is a weird tale because the original story is fairly horrifying. It's about a woman who loses her voice when she walks on land. It's like walking on broken glass. Now, thankfully, Disney cleaned that up quite a lot and made it far more romantic. But for a good chunk of the movie, she is there and she cannot talk. And that would be, in old times, that would have been just an excuse to have her not really take part in it. But she still has agency. She's still interesting character. The camera absolutely loves her. And of course, it's full of effects and so on. And the one thing I would say is, I think maybe the animals that are such a star in the first one, Sebastian the crab and Scuttle, the bird and so on, probably cartoon animals are funnier than like sort of realistic animals. That aside, it's charming, it's lovely. It's about 5 minutes too long. I would say one thing. I wouldn't put people off bring in younger kids. It's a PG. I wouldn't put the bringing off younger kids, but make sure, you snuggle up beside them. Because I think for under 8s, there's a few fairly tense bits where there's sharks chasing mermaids and scary stuff. And Ariel, the kids are going to love Ariel so much when they think maybe things aren't going to work out. Spoiler alert, it's Disney. We'll be okay. But when they think things aren't going to work out, it might be a bit tense and a bit scary. So mums and dads, go along with it. And here's the thing, you're going to love it too. And you're going to pretend, there's going to be dads walking out of Eclipse Cinema Bundoran, go, oh no, there was a bit of dust in there or something, pretending to be all tough. Embrace it. It is lovely. It is wonderful. Is it as good as the original? I don't know, but now you've got both to watch. There's something to enjoy in both. There's some new songs. There's some new scenes. I think it was a very pleasant surprise because if you remember, we weren't great on The Lion King. We kind of thought it was a bit disappointing, The Lion King and Mulan. I remember when it was lockdown, we reviewed that because it went straight to streaming and it was kind of going, it's all right. It's all right. This is much better than all right. It's going to be joyous. Yes, if you were 9 when you saw the cartoon, that will probably always stay your Little Mermaid. But if you're a 9-year-old boy or girl now going to the cinema this weekend, it's the joy. They're going to be in love. You're going to watch this again and again and again.
Right, we got the Ben Affleck's new movie as well to talk about, and I just actually got to see Air, his last movie, which was absolutely brilliant. Really good movie. On your recommendation, you were right. You were right. You were spot on. But
I would like to say I'm always right. But we have literal video proof on the internet that I am not always right at all. So, but Ben Affleck, is it kind of bit of a comeback? He's back with J-Lo. He did a great job with Air. Now, this is very much kind of a B movie, and I do not mean that in any way a disparaging way. Sometimes it's fun to have just a fun, interesting thriller, and this is a one where there's kind of these hypnotic states and drugs, and they're fooling people into committing crimes and that sort of stuff. So it's probably not the most original story. You're gonna watch the trailer and go, is it a bit Inception? Is it a bit other movies?
That's the one.
Is it a bit Unlimited? Yeah, it is. But it's their own twist in it. And here's why it's going to sell to you, Seamie. It is 1 hour and 27 minutes.
Oh, I love that.
Friday night fun. This is the other side of popcorn fun. So if Little Mermaid is bring the kids, have a, just relax and enjoy yourself. This is dumb as nuts, good fun, Is it a dream? Are we reality? Is this person actually here? Who knows? Who cares? I'd say even at the end of the movie, you probably still don't know. But as long as you're entertained, you'll be good. And Ben Affleck does this stuff well. He's a very engaging screen presence. He can be a proper actor, but he can also do these kind of just fun, Friday night fun, hour and a half, bang, good crack.
Okay, missed it Monday. You're bringing back Anne.
Anne, which did very well. It was only meant to be in the cinema for a limited release of 2 nights. We ended up showing it for a couple of weeks and we're delighted to come back. It's a hard, tough, and really important movie. Everyone who's seen it has been really moved and impressed by it and is very pleased that it's been shown. It's done really well for such a small movie with, let's face it, no advertising. Maybe it's been mentioned on a couple of radio shows, including ourselves. It's very good, and it's important to remember where we were and why we can't go back there. And we always support Irish movies. So it's back on Monday night for a $5. Very different to the other 2 movies we're talking, but isn't that the whole point of the cinema? Something different, something for everyone.
Okay. Are we back Thursday next week? Are we back to our normal day?
We'll be back on Thursday, and we actually have a preview. So we'll be talking about the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is not only a superhero movie, it's a cartoon and it's surreal about different universes. So you should bring your sleeping bag, because you'll be starting to fall asleep as I try and convince you why it's great. But the last one was so good, and it was made by the guys who made the Lego movie, and it was so clever. It was so good. So I'm going to try and bore you about that one next week. And also, I think we might have a Take That movie coming up soon as well that we'll be talking about.
All right. Okay, that's Collie on movies, and the latest in the Eclipse Cinemas up there in Bundoran. I tell you, The Little Mermaid, he is going to be busy up in that cinema. You are going to be flat out for the weekend. All right. Okay. Thanks for that. We'll talk to you back here next week. Have a good week at the movies.
Bye.
Films with Eclipse Dine-In Cinemas Bundoran. Now serving pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, and more to your seat. Find out more at eclipsecinemas.com.
Ocean FM's Ocean Drive.
Hey.